Now we are.
Woo!
Wait, ask me again.
Are we recording?
No.
All right.
Great. So how's everybody doing?
Awesome. Not really.
Welcome to this week and whatever the fuck we talk about on here.
Stuff. And things.
I thought you were about to say something.
I've been telling Rob about this. I've gotten really into watching interrogation videos for when I ultimately commit a murder. I don't know how to get out of it. But there was this one case I was watching.
I didn't realize that's why you were doing that.
Oh no, I mean but there was this one case I wanted to tell you about.
James, I would like to see you lie to a police officer about committing a murder.
That's coming up. Trust me, that's coming up. I'm going to mention that.
It's really messed up that the last few days I've been repeating a thing from last podcast on the left to you about no body, no crime. Because now it seems like I'm in it with you.
But no,
people have probably heard me say that to you.
In watching these videos, I realized I'm like, I would never get away with this. I was like, these guys are next level. Like immediately I would sit down and I'm like, it was me, you got me.
It was me.
We didn't even do anything. I'm like, you got me.
Please don't hit me.
They just put a thing of mustard on the table. I'm like, all right, you got me. It was me.
They just walk in the room and they're like, you're James Bridges? And you're like,
it was me.
Yes. And then they just like look at you like slightly disappointed and you're like, it was me. Please don't be upset with me. Please don't. I can't
That's
handle
one
it.
of their tactics that they use. That they like, if it's like a case where like the person clearly like wants some type of attention or something like that, or like some type of approval, they'll like play off of that, or like they'll pretend to be your friend for the first half, and then like in the second half they're just like disapproving and disappointed. But this one case I was watching was pretty hilarious. This chick kept trying to get her husband arrested. Like police would randomly show up to their house, and he was like, "Why does this keep happening?" Till finally she like planted cocaine in his car, and then like the police showed up, and then like it was so obviously planted. The cops were like, "Yeah, we don't know what's going on." They didn't even arrest them. They were just like, "We don't know what's going on." But
there's like a little piece of paper on the dashboard with like an arrow on it that says "Coke this way."
So her next step was to just have him killed. She called one of her ex-boyfriends and was like, I need you to hire a hitman and kill my husband for me. And he was like, all right, and went straight to the police.
I was going to say, I heard about this. I heard about that. Yeah, she like paid the guy, and the guy just went straight to the police with it.
Yeah.
She's the most incompetent kill. I don't know, murder's not even the right word because she didn't succeed.
There's no such thing as a hitman. They all just go to the police, or they are an undercover police officer.
So if there are, but it's just that people like us do not have access to them.
Yeah, if you're a regular person, there's no such thing as a hitman.
If you're in the mob, you got guys who do shit like that.
They have hitmen.
If you're us and you go on Craigslist and you see a listing for hitman, it's
That's
a police
not real.
officer.
That's a police officer.
It's a police officer.
Or
100% of the time.
I'm going to say 99.5. And the 0.5, it's a person who is going to take some money from you and then go to the police and tell the police.
There's a 5% chance that it's a guy who's just going to collect your money and disappear.
Yeah.
You might not get in trouble for it, but you're definitely not hiring a hitman.
Yeah.
There's a 0% chance that you're hiring a hitman.
Yeah.
But the cops went along with it, and they like staged a fake crime scene to make it look like the guy had been murdered. And like she's like faking this breakdown. She keeps trying to hug the cop, like, "Oh no, he's dead!" And the cop is like keeps pushing her off, like, "Get off of me!" But they get her in the interrogation room, break her down, and she's like, "I get a call." Her one call that she got. She called her husband that she had just tried to have killed. Was like, he said, "So can you send the attorney over?" And then he was like, "What?" He was like, "Why are you calling me?" And then he was like, "I'd seen the tape of you hiring the hitman." And she's like, "Nah, that wasn't me."
No.
She just stuck to it. They was like, "Nah, that wasn't me." He's like, "I heard you and seen you say it." And she was like, "Nah."
Yeah, wasn't that the same one? So she hires a guy to kill her husband. The husband goes to the cops.
Yeah.
She confesses it all to her best friend, right? Isn't this the
She
same
might
one?
have.
So she confesses it to her best friend, who the cops had already talked to and put a wire on her. If this is the same one I'm thinking of.
She was doomed from the
She's
start.
the dumbest person. See, I feel like you should realize, because I'm pretty sure I'm too dumb to successfully pull off a murder like that. This person is clearly, and I'm not saying I'm like extremely intelligent or anything, but this person is clearly several IQ points. I don't even believe in IQ, but like clearly several IQ points below me. I feel like you should just realize this is going to be way more complicated than you are capable of dealing with.
Yeah. They had one, the dude got caught because he insisted on like being in front of the camera and stuff. So like the day she went missing, he showed up to her apartment with her friends, like to like, what happened? Is she missing or something? Just so he could say why he have a reason why his DNA was like around her room that he had killed her in. But the weird part was her friends didn't know him, so they were like, who is this random guy here? And then like he kept doing interviews on the news about it. He was like, oh, she's such a great girl and stuff. And then in the middle of the news segment, the reporter was like, oh, we just got reports that they found a piece of her body. And while on camera, he just stopped. And he goes, I got to sit down. So everyone was like, yeah, it was him. It's definitely him.
He's like, we found a piece of her body. And he's like, yeah, it was the left foot. And he just goes, no, it was her right foot. I mean, I don't know. Didn't know what happened.
Did you have anything, Rob, for us? No. Oh, I thought you had a story or something.
Nope.
Arrest Casey Anthony. She's guilty.
Well, they can't now.
Yeah.
She has to do something else.
Yeah. Which there's a high problem. Well, they did just arrest her. She keeps assaulting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can get away with it.
She like tried to beat up a bartender or something.
No, somebody else at the bar, I think. Maybe it was the bartender, but it was something she like called the police because she said that they threw a drink at her. But then she like assaulted them after. I think she assaulted them after that. So,
You know,
she got in trouble.
if you murder your toddler, is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know how. It was
Either one.
It was a small child.
Either one.
I just couldn't remember. I can't remember exactly how old the kid was.
2.
He was pretty young. Yeah. Okay. So that's toddler. And you get away with it. Feel like you can put up with some drinks being thrown at you. Honestly, it seems like a fair price to pay.
I told Rob I was going to go on a mission to kill Casey Anthony, but then I just come back and you guys are just like, someone brings it up on the podcast, and I'm just like, I believe her, guys. I think she's innocent.
Oh.
I slept with Casey Anthony.
I believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. You wanna believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. Do you believe in love, baby? You really wanna stay with me. I believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. All my life, darling, I've been thinking about a woman.
Hey, Rob. What? I'm not going to get a better out than that. No. What's the name of this podcast?
Some kind of sound.
And what do we do on this podcast?
Every week on this podcast right here,
Which podcast?
Some kind of sound. We listen to one-hit wonders. A different one-hit wonder every week, selected randomly by a machine from a list. Then we rate and review the album. And we usually talk about a lot of other stuff, too. My name is Rob.
I am James.
I did not kill Casey Anthony.
That's good to know.
She's still alive, so that's my proof that I didn't.
Yeah.
That's my alibi.
I mean, that's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't get any more solid. Like, I can't think of a better alibi.
So this week, our artist is Hall & Oates tribute band, Loggins and Messina.
Oh, what? They're
Were they before?
They're before. They're before Hall & Oates, actually.
My original bit that I was originally going to say, Kenny Loggins fan tribute band, Loggins and Messina. I don't know which one of those is funnier. You guys, take your pick. I can start over, and we could just decide whichever one.
All right, we're starting over. So I've been watching Interrogation.
No, not that far. Yacht Rock band, Loggins and Messina.
This is Yacht Rock.
Yeah, you guys ready to talk about Yacht Rock?
So is this Yacht Rock? This first album. Well, actually, this is not the first album. This is their second album. But this album doesn't really seem super yacht rocky.
Well, what's Yacht Rock?
Hall & Oates.
I don't know.
So the album is also called Loggins and Messina.
Yeah.
For the song, it's Your Mama Don't Dance, right?
Yep.
Isn't that the single?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good, because that's the only song I know from this album. I assume that's what it was. See, Hall & Oates, definitely not Yacht Rock. All right, we got to talk about Yacht Rock, obviously.
Woo!
Because I contend that this is pretty quintessential Yacht Rock. Because, so you said not this album, which means you think Kenny Loggins solo stuff.
Kenny Loggins
absolutely
solo stuff
not.
is
Definitely
yacht rock
not Yacht
to me.
Rock. Definitely not. Well, I don't. Not all of his stuff anyway. Because the songs that he's famous for in the '80s, definitely not Yacht Rock. Danger Zone is not Yacht Rock. Absolutely not. Way too high energy to be Yacht Rock. Footloose, also way too high energy to be Yacht Rock.
Wait, hold on. This is complete opposite.
No.
Yacht Rock is high energy because they're doing a bunch of cocaine on the yacht.
Oh, man.
No.
Yeah.
You don't know what Yacht Rock is, do you?
I don't know.
I always assumed it was like Hall & Oates and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what is... But that doesn't sound anything like Kenny Loggins' solo stuff either.
It's a high energy, and you would wear a button-up shirt, not buttoned up, on a yacht while you're doing cocaine.
Imagine... No, it's not... You're not supposed to be doing cocaine. Well, I'm sure they were doing cocaine, but no. It's laid-back music that you would be listening to, on a Sunday afternoon on your yacht.
Is that what it is?
Which
I
is
always
not
thought it was
Danger
like a party
Zone.
on the boat.
Which is not Danger Zone.
No. That
Yes.
doesn't sound right.
That is what Yacht
You need to
Rock
find
is.
out what
No,
yacht
I'm
rock
Googling
is.
See,
this.
we needed to talk about this.
Apparently.
Yeah, but we've put on the Yacht Rock station at work
Yeah.
before, and it's like Hall & Oates and...
Yeah. It's Hall & Oates,
I don't-
Kenny Loggins. It's all that stuff.
I consider... I mean, Hall & Oates I can understand. I don't consider it Yacht Rock because I consider them closer to, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But... All right. So according to Wikipedia, the factors the people who created the term found relevant: high production value, use of elite Los Angeles-based studio musicians. Okay, I have no way to base that. Jazz and R&B influences, use of electric piano, complex and wry lyrics, an upbeat rhythm called the doobie bounce, which I don't know what that means either. This is not helpful. None of this is helpful.
What is the doobie bounce? What
I
is
don't
that?
know.
Is that when you bounce when you're smoking?
Anyway, it also mentions disco.
I
and
assume it has something to do with the
this,
Doobie Brothers.
Loggins and Messina album, at least several tracks on it are closer to country music
That's what I was thinking.
I would agree with that.
and are not yacht rock.
According to who?
They don't have.
This is way more yacht rock than Kenny Loggins solo 80s solo music.
No, a bunch of his solo stuff has a lot of smooth jazz, R&B, and disco, which Wikipedia lists.
Okay. These ones I agree with. These Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross.
Yeah, those are yacht rock.
But none of anything that they do sounds anything like Danger Zone and Footloose.
Well, not Danger Zone or Footloose, but his other ones.
I'm sure he has songs that sound like that, but again, this Loggins and Messina album sounds a lot more like Christopher Cross than that kind of like 80s like synth pop rock kind of. I don't know what you call that, but
Like
it's soft rock.
This is crawl through a log
like
and play a
3
guitar.
tracks.
It's a subgenre of soft
like,
rock.
like 3 tracks, and then the rest are country music.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I can understand that. I don't agree with that, but we need to nail down. I refuse to move on until we nail down what exactly yacht rock is. So I feel like we have conflicting definitions here.
Like when I think of a yacht, I just think of like retired people in Florida on a boat.
Yes.
But with cocaine.
It's not no, it's not music for cocaine ragers. You gotta get off the cocaine thing. That is the opposite.
Someone need to inform the people at Spotify
that's the
that
opposite.
their yacht rock playlist was wrong. Then
Okay, let's look at the yacht rock Spotify playlist.
how many Hall & Oates songs do you think is on there? At least 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll concede the Hall & Oates. I don't want to argue about Hall & Oates.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
and then,
I concede Hall & Oates.
and it will
win.
have Christopher Cross and Michael McDonald. It'll have Kenny Loggins.
You ever see
Okay, Hall & Oates, Robbie Dupree, the Doobie Brothers, Toto for some reason, Kenny Loggins, Seals and Crofts, Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know about that.
Earth, Wind and Fire.
Steely Dan.
Why is
I
that
don't
on
agree
there?
with that. Fleetwood Mac. I don't agree with that. Tears for Fears. Okay, this is Paul Simon. That makes sense. I
I
guess
would not
that
agree with
kind
Tears
of.
for Fears.
The Eagles. I'll let that slide. I don't agree, but Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
See, they're on that.
This is all over the
They're
place.
on that yacht
but
doing cocaine.
Okay, so my contention. Fine, I'm not going to argue for one specific definition, but you can't say that Don't Stop Believing and This Is It by Kenny Loggins are the same genre of music. Those are not the same genre of music.
No, you're right.
One of
are
those
not.
can't be yacht rock.
No,
If one of those is not.
no. This Is It by Kenny Loggins
Yes.
is
That is yacht
that
rock.
Journey song. Isn't it?
No. Toto is not yacht rock.
Toto also. I don't know of any Toto songs that are, but I only know like the
Yeah,
two,
I don't know. I only know Toto songs.
Yeah, I only know those 2 that are famous.
Okay, so we're getting closer. Like John Mellencamp, that's not yacht rock.
No.
Dust in the Wind by Kansas. Well, Dust in the Wind. No. Bad Company. Feel Like Making Love. Definitely not yacht rock.
All this is sounding like yacht rock to me. I was just
So define yacht rock then.
Hall & Oates.
And Journey. That's yacht rock.
I can picture Feel Like Making Love in there because I can see like a man with a robe and a Speedo
So
on a yacht.
In my vision, he's got on a light blue.
and there's 2 women in
button up.
bikinis. And there might be some
There's
cocaine.
cocaine there.
so
It's Florida.
But it's not the main event.
to your So your definition of yacht rock is anything that a guy on a boat, a coked up guy on a boat in like 1979 would enjoy listening to.
Oh no,
Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what
would
it
have
is.
to be in today.
What it sounds like today.
Yeah,
No. It's
just in my vision, it's not happening during like the 70s and stuff. In my vision, it's.
no. I'm picturing it.
Well, but then-
in period.
But then what else? But then like, what would a coked up guy in a boat today
Hall and Oates.
want to listen to? It's still the exact same music. He's just he just stopped finding anything new after 1983.
It's much more depressing in my vision.
Well, it's a boomer.
No one is having fun.
It's a coked up boomer on a boat.
Even though they're on a yacht, they're like,
So it's 2020.
just listening to
It's
some
2021.
saxophone.
It's 2021. He's coked out on a boat, but he's 67, so he stopped finding new music like 35 years ago.
Ed Money is on there.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, yeah, okay. So it's not really like a sound. It's more of a sort of shapeless, like nebulous feeling.
Yeah. With open button-up shirts. And cocaine on a boat.
Okay, we get it. There's coke. Good God. This is
In my head, there's only like 3 people, too. It's really sad. It's just a guy and 2 chicks, but no one's having fun.
This is starting to sound really specific and personal. It's starting to sound suspiciously specific.
I've never been to Florida, guys.
I think this
Didn't happen on my mission.
Looking for Casey Anthony.
All right, I think we're done. I think we wrapped the episode there, guys. Yeah, this is starting to sound a little Freudian, James. I think this is a Freudian description. Oh, okay. So, Loggins and Messina is coke boat music. Is the genre, I guess.
It's no longer called yacht rock.
How about in an effort to move away from this discussion, soft rock?
Yeah.
Will you accept soft rock?
Yeah, I'll take soft rock.
Okay.
It reminds me, you crawl through a log and you pull out a guitar and you just play your guitar in the woods.
This is like some kind of like you have like something like synesthesia about this stuff. You like listen to this music and you have very vivid visuals. That
I have
go
to ask
along
my
with
grandma because when I was listening to this, I was like, why does this album remind me of road trips? Like when I was younger, my grandma, I always wanted to go on like road trips, and she would take me to Belle Isle, and she would just drive around Belle Isle, and I thought we were like really going somewhere, but she was just driving in a circle.
Almost there.
But I was like, this album reminds me of that time specifically. And around that time, I was watching, what was it, Fred Tinnerman's Place? I think that's what it's called. The guy, he had a show where like the intro was him crawling through a log, and then like he'd pull out his guitar and start playing.
What?
And he had a beard like
I don't know
Kenny
this.
Loggins too.
What?
He had a beard just like Kenny Loggins.
That sounds creepy, actually.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, like puppets were like pop up. It was really weird. I think it was called Fred Tinnerman's Place. Hope that wasn't a guy house that my grandma was dropping me off. I'm gonna drop you off in the woods over here.
This is not a TV show.
Yeah.
This is just
No, this
like
is
a
just something
repressed
that your-
memory.
Yeah, it's something your brain filled in to cover up.
He always wore a red flannel.
Yeah, I think this is a repressed memory.
No, it's gotta be real.
I
What
think
did
you
he
might-
do to you in that log, James?
This is not the only reason I'm saying this. Many other things that you've told me about you that I feel this way. But this is just the most recent example that I really
Put that drink
recommend.
down.
Really recommend that you see a therapist.
This is an intervention.
Might want to work out that
Next
out with a
episode, I'm like,
therapist.
turns out that wasn't a show, guys.
That was my uncle What's he calls Steve Tenorman? This made-up TV show.
Oh man.
Hey, you guys remember Loggins and Messina?
Do I?
So, oh God. No, James, I'm so concerned for you right now.
It was a show.
And again, this is not the only reason I'm saying this, but this is only the most recent example. I am very concerned for your well-being, James.
Good old Fred Tinnerman's place.
Even if it is.
Fred Tenorman's place.
Google
yeah,
this.
even if it was a
Google
TV
this
show. I gotta Google Fred Tenorman's place. That didn't even sound. It sounds made up.
Sound real.
It sounds made up.
Making this up.
There's other. This is the other group of kids that mention it, but they're all in like a 5-block radius around my house.
I don't. Oh my God! It's just like
No, he's just getting South Park
yeah.
stuff.
No, I this is immediately what I thought of when you said that name. You're thinking of Scott Tenorman, the kid that got chopped up and put in the chili. On South Park.
that is his last
all
name.
that
though.
It
came
sounds like
Oh man, what was his name? The guy with the guitar in the log in the forest.
I don't know because that was some guy that
know.
lived on your block when you were
Yeah.
growing up.
I'd start crying.
It was an empty lot with a few trees.
That was that
it
was
wasn't a forest.
that was the guy. That was the guy on
There
your
were no
block.
puppets, and he touched you.
That was the
touched you,
name of the guy, and every kid had this guy in their block that your parents told you weren't allowed to go by his house anymore, but they wouldn't tell you why.
Fred Pinner's place. That's what it was called.
It still sounds made up.
Good old Fred Pinner.
You're deflecting.
He would crawl through that log, get his guitar out. You guys remember the old guy that painted
wasn't
though,
a
right?
guitar.
You guys do remember the old guy that would paint stuff, right? I don't know what that show was called, but he would paint stuff in his backyard.
I know what you're talking about, but that wasn't quite right. That wasn't quite.
You talking about Bob Ross?
Yeah, he's
No, not Bob Ross.
yeah, he's talking about
No, not Bob Ross. I know Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Something else.
Yeah, it was an old dude. He was kind of bald.
Why is this? Why is this the episode that I don't have a drink for? Why is this the one I'm doing sober?
Oh man, he was an old guy. It was also puppets. I think.
What? He painted with puppets.
Oh man.
Like he's had puppets on his hands, and the puppets are holding the brushes.
What channel were you
What are
watching,
you-
James?
It was PBS
What
Kids,
TV
I
channel
think.
did you?
I think it was PBS Kids.
No, I watched PBS. This was not on it. Never
Was
saw any of this.
This was
stuff.
Black PBS.
Yeah, it was black PBS. It wasn't on the actual television screen.
Oh no! It was just a guy with like a cardboard cutout TV.
Bob Ross.
Okay, so this was a Canadian show, Fred Penner's Place. You know what? I was going to say that earlier before you made it sound extra creepy because I was going to say that sounds like one of the weird-ass shows that they had on the Canadian children's television.
Oh man, why was I getting that
Weird
station?
of the shit.
Because we're right
Because
by
we
Canada.
couldn't get CB. It was Channel 9, I think. Yeah, pretty sure it was Channel 9 for us. It's CBC. And then 27 was also a Canadian station that played a lot of kids' shows. They were all weird as fuck.
And then Loggins and Messina.
Who cares?
Accidental duo.
Yeah, I don't. We don't need to talk about that. I need to get to the bottom of why this guy was crawling through a log with a guitar,
Never found out why he crawled through that.
and what
That log.
was the guy who was painting with puppets.
I think
What
that was Mr. Dress
show?
Up.
Messina was just a producer originally.
No, we got to get to the bottom of all of this. This
Oh,
is
apparently
very-
Fred Penner's still alive.
Wound up writing so much material for the first album that they became a duo.
So, yeah, Loggins Messina, American. Did we settle on soft rock, or do we need to argue about that some
Soft
more
rock, soft
too?
rock.
No, we're moving forward.
I feel exhausted now. This is if you guys ever wondered what a day in hanging out with James is like, it's either he spends the whole time on his phone and we don't talk, or it's this insane or this insane shit. Like there's no in between. It's one of those two things. Which I think we do a pretty good job of representing on this podcast. But
There's a guy in your backyard with a guitar up.
Oh no!
he brought his own
many
log.
puppets?
He brought his own log.
There's so many puppets.
He's turned around. They're just like lined up right in the window staring at us. Okay, so Loggins and Messina, we don't have any more time to talk about this. Show's over, guys. We used up the whole show. I'm not cutting any of that because it was gold.
No. So favorite tracks.
That was so they're a soft rock duo they are in the vein, not the exact same sound, but in the vein of there was a whole bunch of those bands, CSNY, Hall & Oates, I don't know if you want to put Garfunkel in there.
Oh yeah, Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel
Yeah,
in
sure.
there.
Have a challenge for people.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into this, but this is
Yeah,
just
I'd put them in there.
this is all just based off of something I start off now. I challenge anyone to look up a picture of Kenny Loggins and find a picture of him not looking cool. He's looked cool for forever. Like there's no like uncool pictures of Kenny Loggins.
No, I saw one earlier
So-
today.
No way. I don't believe it.
He's really old now.
And he still got that full head of hair and that beard.
So with the late 60s and through the early 70s, there was sort
He
of
looked
this
a little depressed.
sort of this trend of like singer-songwriter, acoustic guys, duos, or in the case of Crosby, Stills, and Nash trio.
Yep.
I'm sure there were other ones that were like that, but I kind of put them in the same vein of like this kind of like folksy, I don't know, vocal forward, very vocal oriented, kind of softer rock music.
What does Little River Band fit in to that genre? Is that just soft rock?
Is that two guys' names?
I think it is two guys though.
What?
Little and River?
Good old Little River.
Bob Little and Jim River?
I feel like that's real. I have to look that up now.
Not what I'm talking about. But to stay on focus.
It's definitely
Just
not real.
just like when we were on Focus talking about the bald guy that
Pretty
paints
sure
with
it's
puppets.
more than two people.
Oh, it is. It's
It's a
four of them.
full, yeah, it's a full band.
Somebody else take over. I don't want to do this anymore.
All right.
I need a beer. Why did I do this? Try to do this sober.
Accidental duo. Yeah, no, James has the last beer in the house. Oh, he finished it. So there's
There's a little bit left.
There's nothing left for you.
I also had a Red Bull too before this.
Just get back to the show.
Loggins and
Yeah,
Messina.
Loggins and
I washed
Messina.
my hands of this. This is your guys' problem.
All right. They made some music together. They were a duo.
Oh,
Like
what were you
Cliff
saying
said.
about them? Messina wasn't an actual artist at first.
Well, no, I mean, he had wanted to retire from like touring and all of that, and he just wanted to produce. So he was going to produce a solo album for Kenny Loggins, but he wound up like helping with a lot of it, writing stuff, and even like performing on the album. And then they just started doing shows together because of it. They, the album was titled Kenny Loggins with Jim Messina sitting in. And
He didn't.
they wound up just being a duo. He kind of like
Kenny
Messina.
Loggins didn't make any songs about wanting to sleep with his wife, did he? Like that one guy.
No, I don't believe. I don't believe he did. They wound up like touring for the album and kind of got talked into remaining as a duo.
He tricked him into being in it. I tried to do that with
Yeah.
Cliff once. Trick him into being in the bed.
So
You didn't do a very good job.
yeah, no, that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, he never even showed up for one practice.
What? Isn't that how you're supposed to be in a band? I thought that was how it
band.
worked.
Yeah. So They had 5 albums, but
Jesus, 5? I don't know it was that many.
yeah, but from those, they just had the one hit that made it into the top 10. Your Mama Don't Dance.
She better.
Yep.
And your daddy, no rock and roll.
You don't rock and roll.
Which, not true in my case. My dad did rock and roll.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they wound up breaking up after the 5th album, and Kenny Loggins
They
went
hated
on
each
to
other.
his solo career. No, they didn't hate each other, but I think it was Messina that said in an interview that by like the last couple albums they weren't writing together anymore. It was just like each of them putting in solo stuff and trying to like one up the other one. But he said that it was never like a like there was no like animosity or whatever. It was like just trying to like each one push the other one to like bring their best.
Oh no, dead air. Oh God, somebody
got
say
nothing else.
something.
Oh, I thought you were about to go.
Okay, so what did you guys think?
I like this album. It's got a lot of folk and country influence. Some like very older sounding rock or 50s and early 60s rock sound.
Is that just because it's got saxophone?
No. Something about like the tempo of it, especially for like Your Mama Don't Dance, is very I'm trying to think of that guy's name. Like it's almost Jerry Lewis-ish or like from that era.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then the same with like Holiday Hotel. I feel like also sounds like it's more from that time, influenced from there.
Did he just mean a Holiday Inn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I meant to Google Holiday Hotel and see what that meant, if anything. Is it like a seedy hotel where there's like prostitutes out front?
I don't know.
Because that's what I was thinking. Because he says his wife will be mad at him if he stays at one, and then his friend books them a night at one.
It's a place where they went to go do heroin.
Oh,
Did Kenny Loggins ever go through a drug phase? Did he?
He was famous in the 80s. I'm sure he did a lot of coke.
Yeah, I imagine.
Was he on a boat though, in Florida?
At some point, absolutely.
Seems-
either in Florida or California.
Seems unlikely that he never was on a boat. I would guess.
Yeah, this album was strangely, for some reason, relaxing and soothing, and I don't know. It also made me think that was like 70s and 80s white guy was peak coolness white guy, and then for some reason it got to the 90s, like mid to late 90s, and then white guys were like, we don't want to be cool anymore.
80s white guys sucked, first of all.
Oh, they were kind of cool.
The peak of cool white guy.
75.
Yeah, it was like mid 70s, yeah.
Yeah, I thought 80s white
You're
guy was
like-
kind of cool.
Like Flock of Seagulls haircuts and
Oh, maybe that's because I'm just looking back on it. I don't know. Maybe at the time people were like, "What are these dudes doing?"
no, I think at the time they thought it was cool, and I think it's
Yeah,
terrible.
at the time they thought it was cool.
I think
And
when you
then-
look back on it,
and then
it
it was
looks
the thing that
painfully stupid.
like Cliff is saying, that's what most of it is. But then it has it's all cyclical, and it has a time where some of that style comes back, and we already had the one for the 80s. We're pushing on like the 2000s,
Yeah.
late 90s and 2000s being the thing that is being looked at and brought back.
Anyway, that the reason that they stopped being cool in the 90s is because that was the 90s was when white people stopped controlling all of the cultural
Ah.
hegemony.
You're like, well, this isn't cool anymore. You guys want rights and stuff.
And then people started en masse. The general public who didn't pay attention to that stuff started realizing that they were always just stealing all their cool stuff from black people anyway.
They were cool about it, though.
Okay.
They'd just be hanging out.
Well, see, like, the people that are, like, famous for that kind of stuff, like, you know, rock and roll people like Elvis and the Beatles and, or, like, later, like, somebody like Eminem, like, the reason that they can kind of get away with it, like, I think we just talked about Eminem a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
The reason that he can get away with doing what he does is because it comes from a genuine place. Like he's not trying to steal something. He actually, you know, somewhat lived that life, and it can't. You know, it just comes from a place of like just wanting to be a part of it. And that was the same thing with people like Elvis and like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. Is like the Rolling Stones just like ripped off, you know, like 50s rock and rollers, but they weren't really trying to rip them off. They just wanted to play that music because they just really loved it. And they would actually like go to shows for like black blues people that like no American white person would go to.
Did we ever talk about that video of John Lennon getting to perform with Chuck Berry, I think it was? And
I think we did talk
Yoko
about it.
Ono was just yelling into the microphone, run.
Yeah, we did talk about
talked
that.
about
And I'll say again, that had to be, out of all the embarrassing things that Yoko did, that had to be, for John Lennon, just had to be the most embarrassing because
know.
Embarrassing me right now.
because Chuck Berry was his idol.
Yeah.
He was like his biggest hero. And that had to be one of the greatest moments in his life when he got to perform next to Chuck Berry. And then Yoko Ono
She
starts
just
doing that shit.
Stomped on it.
She's like, oh, look like you enjoying yourself over there.
But anyway,
Let me ruin this.
so then like in the mid 90s, hip hop, like white artists weren't really trying to like steal hip hop, or they just couldn't do it without anybody noticing. I don't know which. So like normal, you know, like normies, like people that aren't really into music started like trying to adopt hip hop fashion, like white people, I mean, and it just looked stupid. And it still looks stupid. And you get just these white people that just like act like idiots because they're trying to like affect like a hip hop aesthetic. But it just comes from a, you know, it doesn't come from a genuine place. So they just look like morons. That's why white people stopped being cool in the 90s. I hope you guys appreciate when I make this shit up off the top of my head. It sounds.
Nope. Now we got to start Googling everything.
Say,
Cliff says now.
I have a very well thought out, or it sounds like a very well thought out explanation for all cultural issues. I'm good at that. Anyway.
What did you think of the album, Cliff?
Yeah, it
You
was
didn't
fine.
tell us.
It was okay. It's one of those ones where it's hard for me to like give it an objective
Oh, I have another.
rating just because I just wouldn't listen to something like this, and there's nothing that I can point to that I'm like, man, this is bad.
I have another.
'Cause it sounds well made. It's just that I would never listen to something that sounds like this. So I don't really. It's hard for me to like say anything objective.
I have another
about
comparison for like to describe yacht rock. When you're black and you're dating a white girl, and then you have to go over her parents' house for 4th of July, and this is the music they play in the backyard. But her dad's shirt is a button-up that's opened, and it's just blowing in the wind the whole time. He's possibly on cocaine.
Okay, so I feel like what you're describing is like, this partially explains why you're okay with them calling, like all of that music on that playlist yacht rock.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that thing. Like it was for me for a long time until I started putting a lot of work into it, like listening to hip hop. where it just all kind of sounds like the same thing to me. And like country music was the same way. It took me a really long time to like really delving into it and starting to listen to like a lot of different artists to like hear
Florida
like,
Georgia line
difference between Florida Georgia line and like Kenny Chesney. Because before I would have just said like that all just sounds exactly the same. But yeah, now I'm imagining like somebody younger than us though. You're like 20 and you start dating a white girl and you get invited to the cookout at her parents' house and they just have a playlist of all of her dad's favorite music and it's like Styx.
Yep.
And but also I don't know, Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, and then there's also like some Loggins and Messina on there. And you're just like all of like, yeah, that's all yacht rock. Like that's all white guy barbecue music. It's all the same thing. I'm pretty sure those are all basically the same band.
Let's make that a playlist on Spotify. White guy
barbecue music.
White guy barbecue.
Yeah.
The best part about that is the only one of us that would be able to like accurately do that is you. I don't know what I would put on that playlist.
I think I would just make a genuine playlist and then hand it to James for approval. And let him like throw out any that he's like, no, that's not those ones. Not these 3 tracks, but the other 30, you're spot on.
So
Very white.
yeah, I'm.
Is there what are they doing today?
Are we moving on to that?
Oh, I thought you were
about the. Well, I'm trying to think of what I feel about how I feel about this album. There are a couple songs that are good. It's kind of one of those ones where I like the more upbeat ones. So like, Your Mama Don't Dance is decent, and
that was my favorite one.
the other one
I ruined it. Spoiler alert.
The other one you just said, the hotel one.
Oh yeah, Holiday Hotel.
That one's pretty good.
That's good. Angry
like,
Eyes.
But the ones where they slow down to me are just kind of pretty boring, just because I don't really like this kind of sound. I'm just not looking for the good vibes, I guess. That's what this is. This is good vibes music. This is just chill vibes music.
This is more upbeat, yeah.
Pretty much chill vibes personified. So, yeah, I don't know. What are they doing today, Rob? Sounds like you got this one. You got this one covered.
Not much.
So, well, we should say for anybody that doesn't know, actually, which we kind of alluded to there, but so of the two, as often happens with all of these groups, one of them ends up being considerably more successful than the other.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was Kenny Loggins.
Kenny
For those of you
Loggins.
that don't know, Kenny Loggins went on to a solo career in the I think started in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Before the 80s,
Yeah, I believe.
but really in the 80s was a pretty big name, particularly known for the theme songs to several like pretty big hit movies in the 80s. Footloose. I always want to say Danger Zone, but that's the name of the song. I always call it the Danger Zone movie.
Escape from...
No.
Oh. It's not
Top
Escape
Gun.
from New York? Oh,
Escape from New York.
No, it's Top Gun.
You know,
Wait, you know this, James?
my thinking of that was, for some reason I thought of Kurt Russell, and then I thought of how awesome his hair and beard looked, and then I thought of Kenny Loggins.
I wish it was Escape from New York, 'cause I love Escape from New York, but yeah, because to me Top Gun is either the Danger Zone movie or the Gay Air Force movie. I can never remember the name of it. And then what was the other one that I didn't know about? You said the other day?
Caddyshack. He also did one for Caddyshack 2.
There's a Caddyshack 2?
Yeah, there's Caddyshack 2.
I've never seen it.
And he did one for
I did know about it, but I've never seen it.
I can't find it here, but it was another 80s movie.
Was it called I'm Free?
No.
Oh God, dead air.
Oh, well, I don't know, but he started out doing movie music also by contributing for the Barbra Streisand version of A Star Is Born.
Oh.
Yeah, and then after that,
And what year was that?
That was 78.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, I would say that's really what he made his name on.
yeah.
He's definitely, I would say, probably best known for his theme songs, or I don't know, main track. I don't know, big hits they were in movies.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, I found it. The song "Meet Me Halfway" was used in "Over the Top." The
arm wrestling
the
movie.
the arm wrestling Stallone movie.
what?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, no,
exists.
I don't care. I don't
You
care.
never seen it?
Just move forward.
No, and I don't want to.
I remember
I don't want. Nope,
remember
I don't
it
want to
came
hear
on
about
TV.
it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want.
I know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
want
Just
to
move
go
forward.
I want to go back to not knowing that existed.
But yeah, he's
He's a truck. He's a truck driver.
He did a lot of that, and I guess it's something that you know. He said that he really enjoyed writing songs for movies like that. He said that it was a lot easier than writing like a song that's like genuinely from the heart. Because he was like, oh, they show you the scenes and they tell you what the emotion they want is, so you just write some stuff that fits that emotion. He's like,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
yeah. So it worked pretty well for him. He does have like 2 locations for shows at some point this year listed, but there are no dates. It's just 2 casinos.
Oh,
Oh,
So
let's
I'm
go.
I'm guessing that's what
Yeah,
he
that's-
does now. He's on.
that's
Is he performing
the-
anytime July 1st to the 5th?
that's
there are no dates listed.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing is just like the casino tours. And the other dude's not really doing anything.
so he's twilight of his career, I guess.
Was hanging out with Kenny Loggins.
They both have kids that are musicians
He's just following Kenny Loggins around.
that are not famous.
So ready for ratings?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not.
Oh, you not
Okay.
ready?
Now I am.
All right.
Rob?
I'm gonna give this album a 7.
7.
It was kind of surprising for me because I have not listened to any of the Loggins and Messina music prior to this, even though I am a fan of Kenny Loggins' solo stuff. I had heard the single from this though. I don't know. It was different than what I expected, but I enjoyed it.
Favorite song?
Angry Eyes, the last track.
James?
My favorite part of Over the Top was I'm gonna go with the 5.5.
Oh, okay.
It was almost a 6, but 5.5. And my favorite song, I spoiled it earlier, was Yo Mama Don't Dance.
Yo Mama.
Don't Dance, featuring Wilmer Valderrama.
Okay. I think I'm also going to go with a 7. Yeah, whatever. I don't care enough to think much more about it. like I said, this is one of those ones where like it was fine, and I don't want to rate it down just because I wouldn't listen to it, because I can't say that it's bad. It's fine. It's well made. It sounds good. I just don't want to listen to something that sounds like this. So, I gotta say, I'm surprised. I thought you guys were both gonna go a lot higher.
It was almost a 6, but
and Angry Eyes is also my favorite song. That was the best song on the album. Which is, I didn't even talk about another one that breaks what I normally think about this stuff. Like last song on the album, never the best song.
Yeah, not
It's
usually.
very rare.
Yeah, very rare. I also want to, because we've touched on some other songs, but these ones aren't going to get mentioned. I feel like Good Friend and Whiskey.
oh yeah,
Also,
I like
also
Whiskey.
really good songs. Bunch of good tracks on this.
Okay. Any last thoughts before we move on to our next?
Look up Fred Penner's Place.
Don't do that. My last thought is don't do that. I meant on Loggins and Messina. But I guess if you feel that strongly about that, I'll take that as a no. All right.
Nothing.
We're all exhausted from hearing about Fred Penner's Place.
Yeah.
Okay. How many songs? Time to spin the wheel. Spin the wheel of songs.
He's
Here
still
we
spinning.
go.
You stop it.
I am. That's why I'm talking, because
All right, what is it? Stop that
Damn,
spinning.
I haven't even hit it yet.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Nope, you stop that spinning. No episode.
All right, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Ow. One click. That's a spin.
Oh, you guys are no fun. Okay. Next week, or for next week, we are listening to Crazy Town for the song Butterfly.
Ooh, that's a bad album. I can tell you right now.
The album is called The Gift of Game, which is great. It
does
came out
sound
in
pretty
1999. And now I'm going to tell you
That
guys.
album is
I'm going
bad.
to tell you guys right now.
I think, from what I
I
remember.
don't need to wait for next week to tell you. Neither of you guys are my sugar baby. So, just wanted to make that clear.
After everything I've done for you.
Like what?
I don't know.
Okay. Please don't look up Fred Penner's Place.
You should.
It will be the stuff
Just the
of
intro.
nightmares.
Just the intro.
Doesn't exist.
Hey, rate, subscribe, like on whatever podcasting app you use. Tell a friend. We're on all of the various podcasting apps, so whatever they listen on, they should be able to listen to us. And tell them to rate, like, subscribe, whatever their particular app does. You can catch us on the social medias. We are SKO SoundPod on Twitter and Instagram. Those both get updated
All the time.
occasionally
All the time.
when I yell at James enough that he does it. We have a Discord. The invite to that is on our Twitter page. So, yeah. You should get on there. Let us know what you thought about Loggins and Messina. What you think about Crazy Town. Or anything else that we've listened to or talked about.
I think the album will be hard to get through. I think. From what I remember.
We'll find out.
I listen to this a lot before school.
Mm-hmm.
Our theme music is by Jackson the Pool Sharks. Thank you to the boys in Jackson the Pool Sharks. Anything else?
But yeah, that's it.
All right. See you next week.